Hey friends, and welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. It's actually Tuesday evening right now, trying to get this video filmed before Wednesday. Say hi to Izzy back there. Izzy, you got your ball? I usually am not on top of it enough to get my video filmed before Wednesday actually rolls around. And so it ends up being posted late in the afternoon or evening. I would like to get it done a day in advance and then get it posted on Wednesday morning, but I can't ever guarantee that. If you guys have noticed, I have never, ever given a schedule, like an upload schedule, like some good YouTubers do. It is a good best practice when it comes to YouTubing. I have never done that because my life is just too unpredictable. And like I've always said, my YouTube is not my full-time job. I have 5 full-time jobs. They are my children. And my children and my husband take priority. And so I've never put a schedule because I didn't want to be stuck, or committed to something and then have to back out of it. The closest I've ever gotten to a schedule is Wellness Wednesdays, saying that I'm going to post a video on Wednesday about wellness. And so far I've been able to maintain that for quite some time, which I'm very happy about. But I think that's as close as I'll ever get to an actual YouTube schedule. Anyways, enough about that. What I wanted to chat about today is just an experience I had over Mother's Day, and not a revelation from it because it's something that I already knew, just more of like an acceptance of something, like realizing what I have thought for a while is true and I just need to accept it and live with it. So I started my lean days last week, like I told you I was going to, and I did film a video, a what I eat in 2 days video, where I did a regular baseline diet day and a lean day, and that video should come out maybe tomorrow or the day after, and so you will see that. But then on Sunday, Mother's Day, it was a regular baseline diet day. I had just done a lean day the day before, and everything was going fine. And for lunch, we were at home. We didn't do anything big or fancy, but we decided to do like a baked potato bar for lunch. And so I made baked potatoes. I had a big ham that I'd gotten on sale around Easter. And so I cooked that in the Instant Pot, and then made like roasted broccoli, and we had all the toppings for baked potatoes. And I basically had the toppings minus the potato. I had some of the roasted broccoli with all the toppings on it. It was really good. But I decided to splurge, and I decided to have sour cream on top of my baked potato, no baked potato dish. And I didn't even have the shredded cheese. There was shredded cheese and, bacon bits and sour cream. And I decided I was going to splurge. And my treat on Mother's Day was to have a dollop of sour cream on my food. So I had that. And then I found myself in the evening, like having cravings, like sugar cravings, like full on sugar cravings. And it used to be when I had sugar cravings, they would manifest in the form of wanting cake and icing. Like I could just eat icing out of a jar. That for whatever reason, that's what what's she looking at, Izzy? That's how my sugar cravings manifested. These days when I have sugar cravings, they manifest as cravings for like caramel and chocolate together. I don't know what it is. My brain just goes there when I'm wanting sugar. Thankfully, it's not very often. It's actually very, very rare. And usually I know why, it's like I've had an indulgence or something and I'm like, oh yeah, that's why all of a sudden I'm craving caramel and chocolate. So I was starting to have those cravings, but I didn't have anything off baseline besides that, dollop of sour cream. And I just decided that I need to recognize that my body responds to dairy the same way it responds to sugar. Not necessarily like the blood sugar swing. That's like on the metabolic side. If I eat a lot of sugar, I have like a sugar high, my blood sugar jumps and I have, certain symptoms from that. But as far as like cravings and like the way my brain reacts to dairy, it seems to be the same as sugar. And I knew this intuitively before, from back when I was eating a lot more dairy in my diet, when it was still ketovore, but just having cream in my coffee, which is probably the biggest amount of dairy that I was consuming, and then also cheese and things, sour cream, stuff like that. And I knew that when I was having a sugar craving, if I had a cup of coffee with cream, it would satisfy that craving. And like when I, you know how when you eat a meal and you're like, I just need something sweet to finish it off, that kind of sugar craving, I could satisfy that with like coffee with cream or something like that. And so I knew it. I knew that whenever I would feel that craving for sugar, if I had some dairy, it would satisfy it. And I think that that was a really good step. You know, it's better. I think it was better for me to satisfy that craving with dairy for a little while and to get through, you know, getting off of sugar than to, you know, give in and have sugar. But I'm finding just the confirmation again that I need to really limit dairy in my diet. But you guys also know that I'm not one that says that I will never eat certain foods again. I will eat sugar again. There will be times where it will be worth it to me to indulge in certain things. And I definitely will indulge in dairy at some point. I know it needs to be out of my baseline diet for sure. But then I also love the information and to be able to recognize what dairy does to me. So I'm armed with that information. If I do decide to indulge in dairy at some point, which I will, I know that I can expect cravings, possibly. And just knowing that, it's like half the battle right there. Because when they happen, it's like it's expected. It doesn't take me by surprise. Oftentimes when you have cravings and you're not really aware of all the physiological stuff going on, or at least this is how I was. When I have cravings, it's like you feel like the way I feel will never go away unless I have that thing that I'm craving, which is a total lie. Because if you don't give in, especially when it's like sugar, if you don't give in and you adjust, same with dairy, if you adjust and adapt to not having that thing, you will get over it. Like it's not, the craving tells you it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. This feeling is going to intensify until you give in and you have the thing that's going to satisfy you. But when I go into it knowing that I'm splurging on something that may possibly give me those cravings, you know, later on in the day, it's so much easier to let them go and just to realize that it's just this, you know, brain craving and it's not really real. So that's really all I had to chat about. Just, you know, recognizing that, confirming something that I already knew, already suspected, but I needed to really solidify in my brain and, just arm myself with that information that if I do decide to indulge, I know what the consequences are. And that'll give me the power to make the decision either to do it or to not do it. It'll make it easier to not do it if it's not the right time, if it's not really worth it. So I guess that's where I'm going to leave it here on this Wellness Wednesday. We'll make it a quick one this week for once. Hope you guys are doing great, and I will see you again in another video. Izzy, what you doing? She would just entertain herself all day with a ball. She'll go and like throw it down the hill. She'll bat at it, make it bounce around. She's just obsessed. Just obsessed.